Hello, captains. This is Kent again, and welcome to the Flight Show. So, yes, I'm finally posting some content. Hey, I gotta say, my hard drive crashed, and I lost everything in terms of where I keep my flight simulators and all that information. So, long story short, I had to buy a new hard drive, reinstall everything, and that took a while because I had to do all that in between work. So, here we are for a flight video where I just wanted to talk for a little bit, maybe do a pattern, and just say a few things. So, letting you know content is on the way. So let's just go ahead and take off. So, you may notice this airport, anybody who's a flight simulator fan, because if you go back enough, you'll know that this is Meigs Field, where it all began, where all the flight simulators used to start until they got rid of Meigs Field. This was the default airport. And I tell you,
terrain ahead.
I love flying out of here.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
A little unstable.
Terrain ahead.
There we
Pull
go.
up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
I know.
Terrain ahead.
All right,
Pull
so we're
obstacle
going to go
ahead.
ahead,
Pull
turn,
up. Obstacle ahead.
raise
Pull
the
up.
gear, raise flaps. So, I wanted to do two things. One, I'm sorry it's been so long since I've posted anything. As I've mentioned before, I couldn't do anything about that. I literally, oh my gosh. When I tell you how screwed my flight simulator was, it was just all gone. All gone. But, you know, life is about things anew. And here we are. So why did I want to fly out of Meigs Field? Because one, this is where it all began for me. Oh my gosh, why is this so... I am like not looking professional here. That's alright. Alright, flaps are up. Gears up. Alright, there we go. So, nice. Let's throttle back a little bit. So, in fact, to show you, let me move over here. I can only do this in Flight Simulator. Down there is where I live. Let's see if I can get to the back seat. In this region, right here, is Lake Meadows, and I grew up in that building. That would be Prairie Shores over there. Unless, you know, I could be mistaken. Hold on a second, let me move over. Look over my shoulder. Yeah, that's Prairie Shores. This is Lake Meadows, and I grew up in this building. That's the 500 building. That is the 501 place. I never understood what that address was. But yeah, this is old Lake Meadows, this is new Lake Meadows, and that's where I grew up, in the apartment on the 22nd floor facing that way, which faced Meigs Field. So I used to grow up watching planes take off and land from over there. So, you know, this airport is very dear to me. And I just wanted to say, I have picked up, like, I need to quantify it. I think I looked at my analytics, but it was like 38 subscribers in all the time that I had not posted any content. And that was very humbling. I really appreciate that. I appreciate those that continue to watch my channel, and I appreciate all the new subscribers. And just letting you know, no, this is not a dead channel. I just had to take some time to get my simulator back up and running. And I really, really appreciate that. And all the comments that you've been leaving, 99% of them got positive. Maybe one or two rather incendiary comments, but you know what? I don't even pay attention to that. However, as a poem, if you can make allowances for doubt, but if you do not give in to doubt but make allowances, I'm totally messing that up. But the point is, you know, I read the comments, and if it's constructive criticism, I try to, you know, take that in and try to do things to make things better. Even when it's incendiary, you try to cut through that, because some people just have a tack button that does not exist, and you try to make things better. So let it be said that I always read your comments, and I really do appreciate everybody just, being active on the channel. As I've mentioned before, it's very humbling. There's the Willis Tower, which no Chicagoan uses. We still call it the Sears Tower. That's not one of the reasons we know you're Chicago or not, or at least if you're new. Sears Tower, John Hancock Tower. Oh, memories. I miss being home. I just have to tell you. But the holidays are coming up, so I get to visit. Yay. Anyway, let's bring this in. I'm going to bring it back around for a landing at Meigs. But all this is to say that I just really wanted everybody to know how much I really appreciate you tuning in and seeing the content. And again, my channel is kind of like geared for the newbies, or the people who are just not, they're just not at that level where they can just do all these tricks to make Flight Simulator sing, where they know everything there is to know about, a given aircraft. Because you have to also understand, because there was somebody who was critical about my startup of a 747 and said, that's wrong. I did not follow the flight flows exactly. But someone wanted to know, how do I start up and get my plane flying? And you have to understand that there are two realms of flyers in flight sim. You have those that are casual flyers who just want to hop into an airplane and fly, and then there are those who want to know everything there is to know about a given aircraft. And there's a whole lot in between. And that is kind of where I am. Not so much, I like to know everything there is to know, but one, there's so many hours in the day. And two, I'm also trying to do content for those that may not necessarily want to know every single detail, but they do want to know how I can get in and have some fun. And that's kind of where I am in terms of what I try to produce. Now, if there is a call, hey, I want to know every single thing, every minor detail of a given aircraft, and this is an aircraft that I have an affinity for, yeah, I will be happy to study it up and give you everything that you want. No problem whatsoever. But sometimes you just have to really, you have to just manage what is it that you're able to do in a reasonable amount of time. So, and you know what, in the grand scheme of things, that is motivated by just one comment. Everybody else has just been incredibly positive, and I really appreciate that. But here's the other thing about doing content on the internet. When you put yourself out there, the more subscribers you have and the more people who watch, the more you're open to, the more you open yourself up for criticism. And, that's just a part of being in the online community. And that's fine. I didn't get here today by, by life being hunky-dory. You just have to step up and make some things happen, and that's fine. That is totally fine. So, okay, we're bringing this in. We're now over the southwest side of Chicago, coming, well, I guess this could still be considered the south when you think about it. But we're going to bring this in for a landing over at Meigs. And I'm flying one of my favorite aircraft for Flight Simulator, and that's A2A's Comanche 250. Really love flying this plane. Its dash is a little laid out a little bit differently. Case in point, your radio stack slash GPS is on your left and opposed to your right. But there are models where this is more traditionally located where you'd expect it to be, which is here. But that's in real life. A2A doesn't release that particular version, or at least not that I'm aware of. But I still love the plane. Its handling, its realism. It's the bomb. Put it, simply put. Okay, so now we're about to pass over the Dan Ryan, and there's Comiskey Park. I am a Southsider, and I grew up watching the Sox, so I love the Sox. I do love the Cubs, but when you live away from a city and you have two teams, I reserve the right to love both teams. And I can do that. Nah, can't stop me. But if I'm home and the Sox are playing the Cubs, I'm rooting for the Sox. I mean, that's just all there is. But, got much love for the Cubs. It's our inner city rivalry. You just gotta love it. Alright, so now we're gonna drop our landing gear and our flaps. So this isn't a perfect video by any stretch of the imagination. I just really wanted to take the time out to say thank you for everybody who has continued to tune in, and also thank you to the new subscribers. I'm going to be doing some stuff really soon, putting some more detail into some heavies, and as you noticed, I am actually flying a general aviation aircraft, which I don't do too often in my videos. I need to give a little bit more attention to, because there's a group of people out there who are really into general aviation, or GA aircraft, if you're going to use the lingo. And so I want to have some stuff up there for you as well. So that being said, let this serve notice that you'll see some content on this as well. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this ready for a lineup. Oh yeah, there's my house. Okay. I'll be there soon for the holidays. Looking forward to it. Mixed field, as you know, does not exist anymore, but I still sit on the balcony and watch. Interestingly enough, depending on what day it is, I live under the flight path of a certain runway for Midway Airport.
Terrain ahead.
So that
Terrain
being
ahead.
said, I still get to watch the airplanes. They're just
Obstacle
not landing
ahead.
in my
Obstacle
view.
ahead.
But it's cool because every now and then I see a Dash 8, and when you
Obstacle
see a
ahead.
Dash 8, even
Obstacle
though it's a
ahead.
turboprop, that plane is freaking huge. Love seeing it.
500.
All right, here we go. Full flaps. Bring it down to 80 knots. Trim this up a little bit. There we go.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
We shall not.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
There we go.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
All right, looking good.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Can't you tell I'm landing?
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
All right, here we go.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead.
We're a little
Pull up.
low, but we got this covered.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
There we go.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. 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 Terrain ahead. Pull up.
There we go.
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Oh, don't want to
Terrain
blow,
ahead.
but there we
Pull
go.
up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Oh,
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead.
completely
Pull up.
embarrassing language. But
Terrain
you know
ahead.
what? I'll
Pull
take
up.
it. Because she was annoying the crap out of me. But yeah, that was terrible. Anyway, hey everybody, I really appreciate you tuning in. Look forward to new content coming. Again, I've been a little rusty because I just haven't had a chance to fly. And the past week, I've really been trying to install aircraft and install scenery to get back to up and running. So I'll work on those landings, and I will see you all in the virtual skies.